Hey gang, we're back with more G-Senjou no Maou. So let's hop right to it. So, you can't find him?
Oh,
Gonzo always looked unpleasant in the mornings. Like a carnivore moving its large body, Gonzo stood up lazily. As a side note, this music is freaking awesome, but anyway. The organization we spoke of earlier, if I'm not mistaken, they have 6 leaders, don't they?
全員捕まえた。
And?
覚醒剤の仕事はトップが完全に仕切っているらしい。
For some reason, Gonzo never uses any Yakuza lingo in front of me. He uses the word company to describe what others would call our mafia, says pistol when his subordinates prefer peace, and calls the men in blue cops.
幹部6人。誰もトップの人間のことは知らんと。
How strange. Their silence isn't bravery. No one can keep their mouth shut in the wake of Usami Gonzo's torture. How then do these senior members receive their orders?
メールが届くらしい。
Mail? Gonzo nodded slightly.
調べさせたところ、海外の転送サービスを間に幾重にもかませたフリーメールらしい。
That's very cautious. It's going to be hard to find their boss without help from the police. Just who is this guy that we're hunting?
魔王と呼ばれているらしい。
Oh man. Eh?
魔王だ。
Maou again.
心当たりがある。
First Usami, then the email, and now Gonzo. And he's the leader of the boys, I think is what they were called. Gonzo never fails to notice the slightest change in my behavior. Last night, I received a strange email from the devil on my work account.
何がどうわけがわからない。
The body of the letter was composed of a single sentence. "O come, lovely child. O come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee."
その文面、お前はどう解釈する？
Gonzo always has me explicitly interpret any information I come across. That way, I'll develop the habit of automatically engaging in critical thinking. I'm sure you've already drawn this conclusion, but this might be related to a classical piece called, Der Erlkling. I believe the phrase I recited just now is from the poem which inspired it. Also, the Japanese translation of the piece just so happens to be titled Maou, the devil.
それで、
I can't deduce anything beyond that. The only thing I'm sure of is that the poem was about a father and son rushing somewhere on horseback. Then the devil suddenly appears and kidnaps the son. It should also be noted that our man, Maou, used these kids to sell drugs. That correlation makes the whole thing fishy. Just then, Gonzo laughed dryly.
親子というのは俺とお前のことか。すると、お前は死ぬことになるな。
And he just states it. In the poem, the child died when the devil took his soul.
だが、さらわれた子供はその後、悪魔の娘と結ばれて魔界で暮らすという説もあったな。
Would that be canon then? Neither is a very pleasant conclusion.
いずれにせよ、捕まえねばならんな。
Indeed, those gangsters are just pawns. We must find the mastermind. I silenced myself. He looks quite pleased. It should be very humiliating to have someone step on your territory. This might even affect Gonzo's standing in the Sowa Alliance. He should be outraged that someone is humiliating him.
京介、
Yes,
俺が世間から何と言われているか知った。
yes,
言ってみろ。
a purely selfish man. A being which devours the weak in order to ease his boundless lust for violence. The king of beasts. As a matter of fact, when Usami Gonzo stepped up as the 4th leader of the Sonoyama group, the Sowa Alliance influence expanded like a raging wildfire. He beat back the organized crime from China and Taiwan, and drove the Kansai mafias out of town.
いいか、京介。この世には2種類の生き物しかいない。人間と家畜だ。
This is not the first time he said that. Those that use money are human. Those beings used by money are livestock.
魔王がガキという家畜を使って金を稼いだというのであれば、魔王は人間だ。
A predator's glare emerged in his eyes.
人間を食うのは楽しみだ。
Maou seems to be whetting Gonzo's appetite. Understood. I'll try my best for more information about this devil. I wanted to leave, but I was stopped by Gonzo.
奴は案外近くにいるぞ。
Why do you say that? Is wild instinct?
メールが届いたのか。
Yes.
魔王は少なくともお前のメールアドレスを知っている。
True. Only admins, clients, and people related to his corporation know my email address. Of course, there's still the possibility that the letter was just spam that reached my inbox by coincidence. Nevertheless, I'd be willing to wager that's not the case. So it seems that Maou is a person with some relation to me.
あるいは京介こそが魔王か。
Please don't kid like that. But Gonzo never kids.
話によれば見事にうちの流通の穴をついて上質の覚醒剤を回されていたらしい。内部犯を疑うほどに組の情報が漏れていたらしい。
Uh-oh. Hey, hold on. I don't do any of the inside stuff.
だがその気になれば調べられるだろう。お前がいつも使っている情報屋は裏の仕事にも手を貸している。
This is upsetting. Are you implying your own son is betraying you? I was disgusted by my own stupidity, even as I spoke.
軽く1億は稼いだか。
Gonzo only trusts people on the basis of losses and gains.
いいぞ京介。嘘は大きければ大きいほどいい。
This father-son relationship means nothing to him. I apologize. I felt a chill rush down my back. I'll find Maou as soon as possible. Gonzo's suspicion is enough to discipline livestock like me into following the proper path. If I don't hurry, only one fate awaits livestock with no further use for humanity. Gonzo seemed pleased at my nervous face, and he nodded deeply.
頼んだぞ息子よ。
Now he calls him son. I'm merely a sheep that has just learned its place. That's all I am to the king of beasts. Intense! I walked along the sidewalk from Gonzo's estate to my home, lost in thought. Come to think of it, the only lead we have on Maou is the email from yesterday. If we only consider direct Azai Corporation employees and associates, the number of suspects is far from small. If we include clientele and subcontractors, the manhunt becomes a daunting prospect indeed. Finding Maou in a short amount of time would be impossible, even with a large-scale investigation. Gonzo's murderous eyes surfaced in my mind. I'll be in danger if I don't hurry. I blankly watch the bustle of a nearby shopping center. Couples and families are everywhere. Lovers holding hands, laughing, noisy kids and their mothers trying to teach them a lesson. Everyone's out and about, enjoying the weekend. It's a meaningless spectacle if you ask me. I noticed someone in a huge costume. It appears that some makeup store is having a sale. Must be a busy part-time job. I squinted my eyes. It's a penguin. It's an advertising gag I'd seen quite a lot lately. A character designed to advertise perfume and hairspray. Only this guy hasn't moved an inch. His costume's not even cute. He's just standing around by the sidewalk lazily. A woman's yawning came from the suit. She's not doing her job properly. What a shameless penguin. All the nearby children suddenly crowded around her.
はい、脱げよ。
The penguin was surrounded.
脱げよ脱げよ。出てこいよ。どうせ中身入ってんだろ。
The penguin was being toyed with.
引っ張らないで。
Children just bullying the hell out of the penguin.
ほらほら、偽物ペンギンなんだろ。ほら、やめてやめて。出てこいよ。
The children showed no mercy as they yanked on the penguin suit.
破れちゃう。もうちょっとだ。やめてよ。これ徹夜で作ったの。いやペンギンがなんか言ってるぜ。やめて。
What a strange scene. You're telling me the penguin was...
四畳半の部屋で寂しい気持ちになりながらミシンで縫ったのに。
緊張どもが。お化け。
It's a hair monster!
髪超長え。貴様ら。絶対に許さんぞ。ガオ。
The penguin was Usami.
逃げろ。待て。
The children scattered like little mice.
二度と生き返らぬよ。腹渡を食い尽くしてくれるわ。
Wow. The penguin chased after them like a demon. Ran pretty fast too, even in that costume. Anyway, just what is this? My jaw remained open as Usami and the kids vanished from my sight. Well now, that was something. By the time Usami returned an hour later, the sun had already sank into the west.
ガキどもがこっちがペンギンだと思って舐めやがって。
Show them the power of your Super Saiyan penguin powers! Hey,
かなりの一択だったのに。
the torn penguin costume lay in her arms. Hey, Usami. She finally noticed me.
浅井さんじゃないですか。
So, this is your part-time job?
時給700円です。恥ずかしいところ見られちゃいましたね。
Despite what she said, she doesn't look embarrassed at all. A part-time job wearing costumes at a shopping center downtown, eh? Did you get approval from the school?
まあ自分訳ありなんで。
A reason?
アルバイトしないとおそらく餓死しちゃうんすよ。
You've got no money? She's probably living on her own.
金がないわけではないんですが、今晩の夕食をおごってもらえませんかね。
How shameless. What?
すいません唐突で。
Why should I treat you to dinner?
浅井さんってリッチで評判らしいじゃないですか。
The street?
椿に聞きました。ボンボンだそうですね。
The street should have mentioned that I'm also stingy as hell.
しかしあなたは私に用事がある。違いますか？
Why would you think that?
当てずっぽうですよ。
Contrary to Usami's supposed uncertainty, she spoke with a confident tone.
お金を大切にする方は大抵時間にもうるさいです。現にあなたはいつも電話をしながら昼食をとり、学園が終わればすぐに帰宅します。そんなあなたですが、私がガキンチョどもを追いかけ回している
So she
間
noticed him. True, I've been here for an hour already.
ただ見ての通り今はバイト中なんですよ。6時になったら終わりますんで。
I don't think you would have a job after running off chasing kids for an hour. But anyway, I see. So that's why you invited me for dinner.
察しが良くて助かります。
Maybe I really did want to talk to Usami about this Maou of hers. Oh well, you did show me up yesterday after all. I guess it wouldn't kill me to treat you to dinner. Why would you? Anyway, that logic makes no sense, but whatever.
あれはお遊びだったんでしょ？
Well, she's not wrong. Sure, it was a pretty elaborate game, but a game nonetheless. I wasn't serious.
ですよね。
Usami's nod was a little strange.
あの程度なら振り上げた拳の下ろしどころがわからないっすよ。
Foreshadowing! What are you trying to imply?
いえいえ、それでは自分バイトに戻りますね。
Usami vanished into the shop. What a bizarre woman. Still, she and I are both looking for Maou. This could be the beginning of a bizarre relationship. Well said, Kyosuke.
しかし、なんかレアっすね。
What is?
浅井さんが私を人を頼るなんて。
Usami and I sat in the coffee shop, Lapis Lazuli, a little after 6 o'clock. This popular hangout becomes a restaurant at night. I never asked for your help.
しかしレアな組み合わせです。
You and I?
カップルのように見られたらどうしようかと思ってます。
You're pretty annoying, you know that?
分かってますよ。あなたが私を嫌ってるってことくらい。
Oh man. A choice? Definitely. Or don't be so dramatic. He definitely wouldn't admit it even if he did, right? So, okay, let's save here. Because, I mean, I'm not using a walkthrough or anything here. I'm just going by the seat of my pants. So, don't be so dramatic. Oh, please. I just have no interest in you. I'm like that to everyone. What am I saying? She, of all people, isn't someone I can speak to openly with. Yet, for some reason, I told her this.
そうっすか。
Usami's eyes showed a little sympathy. Wait a second, it's the weekend. Why are you wearing your school uniform?
可愛い制服ですし、っていうかあんま服持ってないんで。っていうか、そんな話がしたいわけじゃないでしょ。
True. I'm here to talk about Maou. I skipped to the point.
来ましたね。
Tension appeared on Usami's face. Are you looking for Maou?
浅井さんもですか？
Yes.
どうしてまた急に？
What can I tell Usami? I can't mention anything about the Azai Corporation. Last night, I received an email.
魔王から？どんな？
I can't say for certain that it was the same Maou, but it said, "O come, lovely child, O come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee, purely in hiragana." That was all.
間違いない。魔王です。
What makes you so sure?
それでどうして浅井さんは魔王を探し出そうと思ったんですか？
This woman isn't listening to a word I say.
それだけだったらただのいたずらだと思うのが普通でしょ？
I'm helping my papa with his work. Didn't Tsubaki tell you about that?
お父さんの仕事に魔王が絡んできたんですか？
Precisely. I'm just trying to help papa.
お父さんはどんなお仕事を？
That's rather direct. I can't tell you that.
なるほど。それは言いたくない。すか。いただきました。
What do you mean by that? So what about you? Why are you looking for Maou?
因縁があるんですよ。
A reason? What reason?
それは言いたくない。
Damn. Then at least riddle me this. What clues have you come across so far?
手がかりっすか。
Usami closed her eyes.
魔王は日本人、もしくは日本語に精通し、日本の音楽教育を受けたことのある人間です。
Ah, I suppose that seems likely.
かわいい坊や、おいでよ、面白い遊びをしようとは、ゲーテの詩を思いっきり日本人が教科書で習うような翻訳の仕方です。さらに、外国人は日本語に漢字を用いることを知っています。面白い、遊び、これは外国人でも変換できる簡単な漢字です。
I wouldn't. Oops.
なかなか
I
友
held
人
down
が
answer.
多いみたいですね。
That was a mistake. Since he used hiragana despite that, we could probably assume he's intentionally going for a creepy vibe, and that he enjoys playing around with the people in order to get a reaction out of them. This girl came up with that much just using a single line of words? And at the very least, Mao is someone who knows your email address. True, nevertheless, this isn't enough evidence to single out anyone. So can I take that to mean you have a lot of friends? You're not here to profile me. What about you?
自分っすか?
You transferred schools at a bizarre time. Did you do it to find Mao?
当たりですが。
But what?
何か注文していいっすかね?
Huh? Go ahead. Come to think of it, she's only had water so far.
じゃあ自分、焼き魚定食で。
They won't have it. Can't you just can't you can't you can tell? I think they mean can't you tell that just by looking at this place?
いや、こんな高そうな店は慣れてなくて、メニューとか何書いてあるのかわかんないんすよ。
So you do have a cute side.
すいません、気も可愛くて。
What? I take that back. She's not cute at all.
メニューの後ろに定食ってつかないと安心しないっすよね。
Usami stared at the menu, giving off an aura of a normal teenage girl for once. I'll just order something for you. Is there anything that you don't like?
トマトとか言うと可愛いんじゃないかと思ってます。
Oh, Usami. I ignored Usami and placed our order quickly.
浅井さんのおっしゃる通り、自分がこのトマン別市にやってきたのは魔王を追ってきたからです。
In pursuit? You've been following him for a while.
はい、それも何年も探していますよ。
And you still haven't found him?
残念ながら。ただ最近になって魔王の犯罪の特徴がつかめるようになってきました。
The waiter poured some orange juice into her cup. Usami sucked it up little by little, like a woodpecker. The way you drink is disgusting.
すいません、ペンギンみたいで。
That was nothing like a penguin.
魔王はですね、必ず子供を使うんです。先月末にこの町で少年窃盗団が逮捕された事件はご存知ですか?
No, I didn't.
おや、情報通の浅井さんにしてはニュースも見てないんですか。ワイドショーでもうるさくやってたくらいっすよ。
Nope, doesn't ring a bell. I read 2 newspapers a day, and I check the news on my cell phone every chance I get. So why?
まあいいです。簡単に言うと、5人組のグループが消費者金融の金庫を襲撃したんですよ。それもただの1件じゃなくて3ヶ月で約10店舗。被害総額は5000万にも及ぶそうです。どうして世間を賑わせたかというと、少年たちがいわゆる悪徳金融と呼ばれる闇金しか狙わなかったからです。まあ義賊を気取ってたわけですね。手口は実に鮮やかだったそうですよ。アメリカのギャングが強盗に用いる手段で5人とも統制の取れた動きで盗みに入ったそうです。
Then how did they get caught?
どうも金をめぐって仲間内で揉めたらしいですね。
Something about this made my heart race. So basically what happened was, the brain behind the operation, Maou, taught the kids how to commit crime and let them carry it out, which makes this incident identical to the one I'm investigating now, which in turn resembles the way that I, as the brain of the Usai Corporation, use people.
魔王は子供こそ最大の手駒だと思っているんです。世間慣れしてなくて純真な心を持つ子供たちならたやすく悪の道に引きずり込むことができます。
And you may recall that Kyosuke actually was thinking something similar to this, about how, you know, they're great pawns for the Usai Corporation, and the biggest reason for that is because they can't be persecuted to the fullest extent of the law if and when they're caught. That's exactly what Usai Gonzo taught me when he took me in. Still, that bit of news alone brought you to Toman Betsu?
はい、手がかりがあれば必ず私も追いかけます。
You're pretty persistent.
おかげで引っ越し代がかさんでいますよ。
Usami grinned.
しかし今回は確信しています。
Hmm?
今度こそ魔王と対峙できます。
Why?
追ってきた先にあなたがいたからですよ。
She was staring at me again, as if seeing through the depth of my pupils. Me? My heart jumped again. Usami drank the juice in her disgusting way once more, and then said,
君は勇者になるんだね。
Then I'll... My memory felt jumbled and disorganized, leaving me in discomfort. Usami, I'm sorry. I took out 2 10,000 yen bills and placed them on the table. I don't feel so well. I'm heading out.
そうっすか。
Remember to return the change next time. I stood up and sighed. Contact me if you discover anything about Maou.
はい。一緒に魔王を探しましょう。
I left the restaurant without looking back.
京介君。
Rather than Azai-san. The wind coursed by him as he stepped outside. A horde of tall buildings stood all around him, blocking the moonlight. Not yet entirely awake, Maou walked up the steps like a sleepwalker, wandering purposefully through the night. Or purposelessly.
Haru.
A name slowly emerged from his lips. A girl appeared from the sea of his memory. A gallant, heroic figure.
思い出した。
Maou felt his head clear as confidence filled his heart.
そうか。宇佐美の娘か。そうか。
The snapshots in his memory snapped into place.
必死に私を探しているのだろうな。
And not only Usami, Azai Gonzo and his wild beasts should all be angrily scouring for Maou right now. Depending on the situation, the plan may have to be changed. There was still time to revise it before Mao's magnum opus was set into action. Even the slightest obstacle could be a premature end to the long-awaited fruit of his ambition.
だが、宇佐美春には相応の報いを与えてやらねばなるまい。
Maou laughed. It might be fun to have a strong hero as a rival. A number of intricate plans began to come together in Mao's head. Usami Haru, eh? The little hero has finally grown up. Let this girl pay for her parents' sins.
まずは勇者の実力を見せてもらおうか。
Let's play a little game. Usami Haru, how far can you go? Maou disappeared into the darkness of downtown Tomanbetsu City with light footsteps. His head didn't ache anymore. The cool night drew its curtains. Chapter 1 continues. This is going to be a good long adventure. Ha! And you can tell from the silhouette that now this is an interlude based on Usami. On this particular Sunday, like any other, Central Boulevard hoisted a sea of people. And as usual, Usami Haru walked to her part-time job with her head hung low. She moved forward slowly, ignoring the people around her.
だるそうだな、宇佐美。
あー、店長、おはようございます。
A bearded man in an apron welcomed Haru.
髪切ってこいって言っただろ。
すいません。髪の話題には触れないでもらえませんか。
ならやめてもらうしかないな。
あ、ごめんなさい。
Haru bowed slightly. The manager shook his head in response as he opened a crate of perfumes.
宇佐美はなんでいつも制服で来るんだ。
可愛いんで。
化粧もしないのか。
すっぴんで十分いけるんで。
The manager let a disappointed sigh escape from his lips.
お前友達いないだろ。
めっちゃ多いっすよ。とりわけ店長のことは親のように思っています。
俺はまだ20代だ。
Haru yawned as she stretched her back and neck. After preparing herself for a day's work, she entered the store.
さて、今日も客引きですか？看板持って大声出してればいいんすかね？
ああ、その前に。
The manager reached into the pocket of his apron.
なんすかそれ？
ついさっきロン毛パツキンの兄ちゃんがいきなりやってきたな。
It was a folded piece of paper. A letter, perhaps.
友達か？
ロン毛パツキンの友達はいません。っていうか、 今時ロン毛パツキンとか言いません。
The manager was a good man, despite, as Haru suspected, frequently lying about his age. Haru glanced absent-mindedly at the manager's beard as she unfolded the note, and after scanning its contents, she couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. The penmanship itself gave Haru an eerie, unsettled feeling. The writer had used a straight edge to trace his strokes, presumably to camouflage his true handwriting. Some letters had even been cut from magazines and newspapers. After taking a deep breath, Haru asked,
そのロン毛パツキンは何か言ってましたか？
なんだ急に。
The manager raised his eyebrows. The girl before him was not the Usami Haru that he employed. Her piercing eyes fired straight through his entirety.
宇佐美春ってのがここでバイトしてるだろう。
それだけですか？
うん。
Haru tensed up. Time seemed to have stopped. Her mind analyzed the facts with incomprehensible speed. And finally, as if to signify her understanding, she raised her head.
すいません店長、今日は休ませてください。
ちょっと待てよ、勝手なこと言うな。
すいません、急用でして。
She bowed deeply.
大体な、宇佐美は面接の時から常識がなさそうだったが。
すいません、非常識で。
まあ今まで一度も遅刻も早引きもしてないし、バイトなのに進んで残業してくれるし、頼んでもいないのに着ぐるみを作って宣伝をしてくれたりと、真面目なところもあるわけだが。
Even if you do skip out on an hour of work by chasing children around, I guess that's not a problem, but anyway.
持ち上げてくれているところすみませんが、着ぐるみはただの趣味です。
The manager thoughtfully scratched his beard.
分かったよ。その代わり、明日もがっつり働いてもらうからな。
Haru flashed a big, happy grin.
ラブです、店長。
Haru dashed out into the busy streets. She parted the crowds like a boulder splitting through a fierce current. Without letting the deluge of people slow her pace, she marched forward through Central Boulevard. As she moved, Haru thought about the strange letter. "Oh, come, lovely child. Oh, come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee." From this, the first line, Haru could tell this letter indicated a challenge. The rest of the letter served to ignite her heart into a mighty conflagration. For at its end was her mother's name. "I am here in Tomenbetsu City. Let us play a game of tag. I will be attending the hunt immediately. To Kaoru." Kaoru is the name of Haru's beloved mother. She was a violinist. She took Haru with her as she traveled all around the world, captivating the world over with her marvelous performances. Blech. Her mother was always so gentle, yet so strong. Calm down, she told herself. If you let your emotions get the better of you, then you've already lost. She couldn't believe that Maou would actually contact her. "Oh, come, lovely child. Oh, come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee." In that particular Schubert piece, no matter how much the child cried out about the devil, his father refused to believe that the devil even existed. No one could find this fabled Earl Colling, this devil, this Maou.
私が必ずあぶり出している。
Cue awesome music. It's time. It's now noon. Wearing a black suit, Maou blended in naturally among the crowd of businessmen in the business district. As he walked among the people there, Mao's heart swelled with meticulous anticipation. It's been a while since he sent out that letter of challenge, passed out from one person to the next. The letter should have arrived in Usami's hands by now. What would she do when she saw that letter? I wonder if she'll search around the city aimlessly. Maou looked at the cell phone in his hand. If Usami isn't a total idiot, then she will soon call this number.
お手並み拝見といこうか。
Haru already knew where to go. She didn't waste a single minute. Even though the letter from Maou looked meaningless at first glance, he made sure to place a hint within those words. The coffee shop, Lapis Lazuli. The same place that Kyosuke took her yesterday. She pushed open the door and walked in. She immediately surveyed the premises. If Haru's reasoning was correct, Maou should have come by here. However, she could not find anyone like him among the customers. Just then, a man who appeared to be an employee called out to her.
いらっしゃいませ。お一人ですか？
Haru thought for a second before answering confidently.
私は宇佐美春という者です。失礼ですが、私宛てに伝言を預かっていませんか？
The host seemed relieved upon her words.
あなたが宇佐美さんですか？ええ、
Haha,
承っていますよ。
a game of tag indeed. As he said this, he disappeared behind the counter. After a while, he returned with a small bag.
異様に髪の長い少女が現れたら、こちらの品物を渡してくれと頼まれていました。
誰？
Haru asked as she took the bag from him.
若い女の子でしたよ。その子も人に頼まれたと言っていました。
Haru immediately realized that the young girl was one of Mao's children. Odds were he was using several intermediaries to get in contact with her. It'd be difficult to trace any of these agents back to Maou.
そういえば君は昨日も彼氏さんと来てくれてたね。
彼氏さん？
Kyosuke?
違うのかい？
恥ずかしいです。
Haru left the coffee shop after offering her thanks. She walked out. As she walked out, Haru opened the bag. She found only a thin cell phone inside. She examined the cell phone from top to bottom. It was an old model of disposable cell phone. Here on Central Boulevard, you can find a lot of unemployed foreigners selling these phones. Even if the police went to investigate this matter, they wouldn't be able to find the phone's original purchaser. It would appear that Maou knows how to cover his tracks. Haru turned on the phone. There was only one number listed. The number listed was listed as Maou.
かけろということか。
Her heart raced. She dialed the number with sweaty hands. At that moment, the din of the city no longer reached her ears. After precisely 10 rings, a weak vibration came from the left side of his chest. Maou grinned. Someone's calling. Trying to suppress his excitement, he took out the phone. He waited for the caller to speak first, as he imagined Usami's beautiful voice. He was taken aback by the abrupt voice. Maou quietly opened his mouth.
私からの手紙を気に入ってもらえたか？
There was a brief pause, as if she were gathering her nerves. Usami spoke in a low voice.
宇佐美、少し遊びたかっただけだよ。
ひどく幼稚なお遊びだったな。
手紙のことか。
Indeed, that was a bit too simple.
あの手紙は簡単だった。私はこのトマンベッド鬼の子。私は今より狩りしてくる。
The next line caused Usami's voice to betray her. She could not conceal her anguish as she recited the final words.
お前の母は実に綺麗な女性だった。
He intentionally chose biting words, as if playing the part of a typical twisted villain. But this did not deter Usami Haru in the slightest.
着目したのは3行目の文。
私は今より狩りに行く。だが
一見意味不明な文章だが、ここにちゃんと魔王の行き先が書いてある。
解説を期待してもいいのか
カウングで宛名に見せかけて、お母さんの名前は実は重大なヒントだった。
This really was a simple puzzle. I'd be quite disappointed if she couldn't even solve this. The purpose behind this puzzle lied elsewhere.
な。あれは不幸の事故だった。決して私に悪意があったわけだ。
Again, he tried to play with her emotions.
文中の「か」を「る」に変える。それだけの内容だった。
Usami ignored Mao's words while continuing to describe her solution to the simple puzzle.
そこで私は今より狩りに
母は最後までお前のことを安心
すると私は妻にジュリに来る。
娘だけは助けてくださいと何度も頭を下げ
Damn.
ジュリとはラピスラズリの姉。
During this entire exchange, Usami Haru did not show a hint of anger.
お前の母は強かった。私は強い人間が好きだ。お前はどうなんだ。
Maou had hoped that his refusal to let the dead rest would unleash the darkness within this girl's heart, that it would reopen long-closed wounds. Nevertheless, Usami said bravely,
お母さんは死んだ。私は生きている。生きて魔王を必ず捕まえる。
Maou feels satisfied. This girl is daring indeed.
いい答えだ。鬼ごっこを続けるとしよう。
Even as she listened intently to the phone, Haru continues searching for the location of Maou. Ignoring the demon's scathing words, she instead focused on the background noise. After a while, she discovered some clues.
なるほどね。
Haru said,
何か分かった。
お前の居場所をつかめそうだ。
それは興味。
今そこで誰かが街頭演説をしているだろう。
Haru again concentrated on the background noise. Part of the speech included the name of Toban Betsu City's mayor. His tone implied it would have been more strange if she hadn't.
今市長がどこで演説しているのか市役所に問い合わせてみるでしょ
その必要はない。
う。
いいなかなかの注意力だ。
Haru finally understood the true reason behind Mao's challenge. He wants to test her. She was in a terrible situation. She didn't expect her opponent to find her workplace. Even though Haru still doesn't know his identity, Maou already knows hers.
私は今セントラルオフィスに。
バラしていいのか。
セントラルオフィスの場所は分かるか。引っ越してきて間もないのだろう。
よく知っているな。
お前のことも何でも知っている。勇者。
何でも知っているという決まり文句は実は知らないこともあるので不安だという気持ちを裏返した。
Maou scoffed at that.
口も達者なようだ。
He certainly sounded happy, but his words seemed a little artificial. As a result, she still couldn't figure him out. And unfortunately for her, he was always guiding their conversations.
確かに私はもっとお前のことを知りたい。だけど私に恨みを抱くのさ。自分から接触してみようなどと。
Even when Maou talks about himself, he never gives away anything important away.
セントラルオフィスに広めの公園がある。
それがどうした。
園内の掲示板の前に来てもらおうか。
そこに行けば魔王に会えるのか。
気が
お互いの理解を深めるためにも顔を合わせて話し合った方がいいと思う。
魅力的な提案だが丁重に断らせてもらう。
It seems Maou has no intention of showing his face.
私をウサミ
This is a challenge.
お前に資格がある。相手をしてやる。
And with that, he hung up the phone. Haru sprang into action. She caught sight of Sano Corporation's headquarters. The park was nearby, somehow escaping the shadow of the gargantuan skyscraper. It was quite a beautiful scene. The park was surrounded by an assortment of bustling businesses, making its presence even more pronounced. The bulletin board was at the center of the park. Under normal circumstances, it would display the general guidelines and park rules. Today, though, it's covered in red graffiti. At first glance, it appears to be the work of local delinquents. Close examination, however, reveals that the markings are actually a rather detailed passage. It was clear that this graffiti was the work of Maou. From here, the hero must choose to walk one of three paths. One path leads to Maou. One path leads to hell. One path leads to heaven. There will be more information on each path. Take care to examine it thoroughly. Truth is written on the path to Maou. Lies are written on the path to hell. Truths, lies, and half-truths are written on the path to heaven. Now, can you find where I am?
3つの道。
Haru immediately began to search around the park. As was indicated, there should be a message located near the path. She soon found that message near the park's northern entrance. Sorry for the delay there, I was just actually thinking about all this. There was a steep staircase leading to the business district. I've played this game before, but it's been so long since I played it, like, the details are extremely vague in my head. The handrail of the stone staircase bore a short note, in the same glaring red paint and long, slender lettering as the message in the park. The exit of the subway station, 10, leads to heaven. She could just barely make it out. Haru immediately absorbed the information. Station 10 just so happens to be Central Boulevard's main station. Haru could see several red-haired youngsters loitering near the exit. Haru carefully examined her surroundings until she finally saw another message on the handrail. Warehouse number 3, along the docks of the Western District, leads to hell.
西区の港。
It was too far to reach by foot. However, if she doesn't go to that warehouse, she won't be able to solve the puzzle. Tag indeed. Do you plan on having me run all around the entire city, Maou? Haru walked down the stairs. There were just as many people in this underground passageway as there were on the surface. She bought a ticket, and now awaits the subway to the Western District. For someone as poor as Haru, the 250 yen ticket really is a painful expense. After about an hour, she finally reached the harbor. The winter sea quietly splashed against the docks. This part of the city is deserted on Sundays. Thus, she found the warehouses without fighting the crowds she had earlier. The third warehouse's number was clearly marked on its closed shutters. Haru searched for the message from Maou. She found a suspicious slip of paper on the shutter. This is not the path to heaven. After reading this final clue, Haru pinched her forehead. Now she finally has all the pieces. Which of the 3 paths should she take? 1. The staircase near the park. 2. The exit of subway station number 10. 3. Warehouse number 3 along the docks of the Western District. And the path to Maou. The path to heaven. The path to hell. Which message corresponds to which path? Obviously, she needs to pick the path to Maou. In addition, truth is written on the path to Maou. Lies are written on the path to hell. Truths, lies, and half-truths are written on the path to heaven. Now Haru thinks about where she found each note. 1. The handrail of the stairway near the park was the note. The exit of the subway station 10 leads to heaven. Which, if that leads to heaven, that would be like truths, lies, and half-truths, right? Beside the exit of the subway station 10 was the note. Warehouse number 3 along the docks of the Western District leads to hell, which is lies. 3. At the third warehouse in the Western District was the note. This is not the path to heaven, which would be the path to Maou, right? After sorting everything, she began to analyze the information. Suppose number 1 is the path to Maou. In that case, the message found there about subway station number 10, that it is the path to heaven, would have to be true.
正解は
To find the answer, you only need to do some calculations. I'm actually confused. Just as she was in the middle of thinking, Haru's cell phone rang.
そろそろ第3相馬の時間だ。
Maou must have calculated the time she needed to reach here and timed his call accordingly.
ちょうど着いたところだ。
天国に続くこの道でこのメッセージを確認した。
ああ、ちょうど今見たところだ。
Maou glanced at his watch.
手の込んだいたずらだな。魔王が町の各地にこんな落書きを残している様子を想像すると笑え。
私が直接作業したわけではない。楽しんでくれたの。
魔王に協力する人間がいるんだな。
Naturally,
人間はよく悪魔に似ている。そんなこと全てのメッセージを確認した。
ああ、
Maou thought to himself, this is just a test. Any capable person should be able to find the correct answer.
よく考える。正解の道の先に待っている。
I would have to sort that shit out more thoroughly to be able to figure that out. If you can find the answer in 5 minutes, then I will give you a passing grade.
では
Just as he was about to hang up,
第三倉庫だ。どの道がどこに続くかは6通りの場合がある。その中で魔王にたどり着く道のメッセージに嘘が書いてあることになる組み合わせと、地獄に続く道のメッセージに真実が書いてあることになる組み合わせを除けばおのずと正解が見えてくる。
Maou listened to Usami attentively. Indeed, anyone with a good sense of logic could quickly figure out the answer. If you discard all the unnecessary information, it really is just a simple equation. As Usami implied, one can just lay out the 6 possible scenarios and cross out all the ones that cannot be true. Like, I would probably have to actually do that. I would have to, like, write it down and be like, well, this can't be the case, you know, mark it out. That said, Usami figured it all out in an instant. Plus, she didn't need to use pen and paper, which I would. She solved it all mentally.
どうした魔王、数学の授業はもうおしまいか。
Maou did not respond. She really has a rare talent. A faint smile appeared at the corner of his lips. Maou finally acknowledged Usami Haru as an opponent. From the research he had done of his people, he'd had one of his people do on her. Man, I can't read. She did not seem to have any power, wealth, or connections, but she possessed a keen mind, seemingly unbelievable for a teenage girl. Maou had thought that his only opposition would come from large, powerful organizations like the police and influential corporations. In addition, this talented girl has been looking endlessly for Maou. Initiating contact with her this morning may have been a bit of a rash decision. His defeat may now lay in a place he had never expected. Usami would quickly break through other games Maou had prepared. Well, it's not a big deal. Yet. She's still just a student. And it's probably safe to say she has almost no information on me yet. However, Maou knew firsthand how far the combination of a talented mind supported by unwavering conviction can bring someone. This hero may indeed find a weakness in Mao's carefully constructed plan. On one hand, Maou felt a rush of excitement from witnessing such a powerful opponent. On the other, in order to not lose to his opponent, Maou felt a surge of his fighting spirit. The sun had set only moments ago. In its place came the strong winter wind, carrying a chill and dark clouds in its wake. Specks of light snow fell on the shoulders of Haru's school uniform before quickly dissipating. Pedestrians flooded through the business district. At the bottom of the government office stairway, Haru awaits Mao's appearance. He will come. After that exchange, Maou played another 3 hours of tag with her. Again and again, he tested her mental prowess. In order to make herself worthy of being Mao's opponent, Haru ought to have shown enough of her strength to gain the right to challenge Maou. "O come, lovely child, O come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee." Maou may think this is just a game, but this is a battle Haru will put all of her strength into. Mao's final question was this: if Maou appears at the bottom of the stairs of the government office, then Hero is not at the top of the stairs. Thus, if Hiro is at the top of the stairs, will Maou not appear at the bottom of the stairs? The conclusion: if Hiro is at the top of the stairs, Maou will not appear at the bottom. If she wants Maou to appear, Haru must not be at the top of the stairs. In order to meet with Maou, Haru needs to stay at the bottom of the stairs. Only he's taking too long. She could not see anyone like Maou among the passing people. Did I make a mistake? Just as she started to panic, she heard someone call her name. Haru looked up the stairs.
人間は面白いよな。雑踏の中、どれだけ周りが騒がしくても、自分の名前を呼ばれるとつい振り返ってしまう。
This track is one of the best in the game, by the way. This music is friggin' awesome. Haru realized that she had indeed made a mistake. She figured as long as she waited downstairs, Maou would appear there. During their prolonged game of tag, Haru had grown so focused on solving the numerous riddles he presented, so focused that she had forgotten that Maou may have set a trap within the riddles themselves. Maou now drew her attention freely, without worry, from a place where she could not see him clearly. A man in a large black coat spoke these seductive words. However, his back was facing Haru, and one could not discern his features through the dim streetlights. Is this man Maou, or just one of his underlings?
あなたね。
Haru asked the mysterious person.
お前だな。
He should be a man. She couldn't really discern the voice at all, though. She thought maybe she may even vaguely recognize the voice, and she couldn't even discount the possibility of the voice belonging to a woman. The voice acting is quite clearly a man, though, but anyway.
私が春よ。
The girl straightened her posture.
私も魔王だ。
She realized her whole body was trembling. Haru clenched her fist to suppress her apprehension. The fear she hailed slowly drew near. This is no longer a game. The battle has begun. And the game has begun, because here is the opening song after, what's this, like episode 5? But anyway, hopefully the game has captured your interest if you've watched this far. It is quite a good read, if you ask me. My plan is to actually do all the routes, because they're it's a sequential thing, where one route will branch off at this section of the game, and then you just continue along the common route to reach the next one, further in line. So what I'll probably do is at each route, provided I don't screw up any of the choices along the way, is I'll branch off to take each path, each route, one by one, in a similar way to what I did with Steins Gate, actually. And, you know, we'll eventually see all the routes to the final conclusion, one by one. Great art in this game, great music in this game, there's great characters, as you can see, there's some nice complicated puzzles and dialogue, though, you know, some of it is very Japanese-based, like even language-based, so they're really kind of impossible for you to solve on a dime, but still very interesting, very fun. And that is where we will call it an episode. Though, actually, can I save on this menu? I guess I'll just have to start the next chapter here. But we will save right here. Because you can see that each section even takes you back to a title menu for that particular section. So, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.